in this election, urging people to go out there and vote. And as we've heard, the Islamists here have been boycotting the vote. According to their figures so far, it's about 5 p.m. here. That voter turnout so far is about 17 or 18%. According to official figures, it's closer to 30%. Either one of those is still less than what we saw in the last elections, which could indicate some sort of success for the Islamists' campaign encouraging people to stay home, to boycott the elections. There's still a few hours left while the polls are open, and we'll only see the results after they close. But again, it was really important for Islamists to ensure that people didn't actually cast their ballots, and that this will be one of the main ways to see if they succeeded in that effort. We did notice a large number of women at the polls. We were out at some of the polls earlier today, and we saw women turning out to cast their vote. But it is important to note that women represent more than half of those who are registered to vote here. We were expecting a large turnout from them, and the issue of women and women's representations in the parliament and in a future parliament has been one of the top issues on the agenda here. Women wanting more representation. As the number of seats in that parliament was increased to 150, so too was the number of seats. A quota for women increased to 15. The women we spoke to saying that they want to see additional seats reserved for them.
Well, it seems it is a low, very small turnout. And last year there were a number of significant demonstrations in Jordan where people are not so satisfied with the status quo. What is the big thing on the minds of the voters?
Indeed, the economy is a top issue here. It's important to remember that Jordan's been having a difficult economic time. One of the pipelines bringing in gas from Egypt to Jordan, for example, was damaged thanks to sabotage. That meant that Jordan has to actually import gas from nearby Iraq at a cost of $5 million a day. That cost, of course, being passed on to Jordanians at the pump. It's also had to take out a loan of some $2 billion, $2 billion with a B, from the International Monetary Fund. And that, of course, has meant that Jordan's had to follow a certain number of guidelines, which has involved slashing subsidies to cooking gas and other household requirements that many people here see as part of their day-to-day, vital part of their day-to-day lives. And so people here are really angry about the economic situation, angry about the status of the economy, the status quo of the economy, and frustrated that they can't find the type of work that they need to make ends meet. That issue topping the agenda as voters went to the poll, that is, those who actually went to the poll, saying that Jordan needs to do more for its economy, and actually feeling that if the parliament itself had more freedom, more independence to reform within the current existing status quo, within the current situation, then those issues would be more clearly raised.
All right. Thank you very much, Roee, for your reporting from Amman. That's our reporter, Roee Ruttenberg, reporting on the Jordanian election.